5 zodiac signs that don't have a guardian angel. Have you ever wondered what it's like to live without the protection of a guardian angel? What does it mean to walk through life without an invisible force nearby to protect you from falls and mistakes? Yes, this happens. And it's not a legend. There are 5 zodiac signs that fate has not given a winged protector. Their path is more difficult. Their trials are harder. But this is what makes their character unyielding and their spirit unbreakable. Today you will learn which signs bear this special cross, why their lives are full of trials, and what lies behind their inner strength. This knowledge will not only reveal a secret to you, but also help you see yourself and your loved ones in a different light. Subscribe to the channel if you want to be the first to discover such secret facets of the zodiac. Write in the comments whether you think your sign might be on this list or not. And now let's take a look at who these 5 people are, born to walk the path without a guardian angel. The first sign is Gemini. Gemini never feel the quiet support behind them that seems to invisibly guide others. Where others believe in the presence of a protector, their path is always open and exposed to blows. They have to make every decision without the right to a hint from above, without the feeling that there is an invisible figure standing nearby, ready to ward off trouble. This sign faces trials head-on and knows the price of its own mistakes, because there is no one nearby to back it up. Their life is like a field of open battle, where their only resources are their own mind and reaction speed. Where others can simply trust their intuition, Gemini are forced to keep everything under control. They cannot afford to relax and believe that invisible forces will save them from falling. Every little thing, every step, is the result of intense internal analysis. This kind of life makes them extra alert. They notice things that others miss because they know that hesitation will come back to bite them. No one will be there to catch them if they slip up. Weakness is unacceptable here. Finding themselves alone with circumstances, Gemini are forced to be observers, performers, and defenders of themselves at the same time. It is the absence of a guardian angel that tempers their ability to survive in situations where most would break down. They have no time for self-pity. They learn to benefit even from defeats, turning every failure into a new experience. Sometimes this makes them tougher. No angel means no illusions. If an enemy appears, they look him straight in the face. If someone betrays them, they don't wait for someone else to take the blow. They calculate several steps ahead and pretend to be ready for any development. This creates an aura of cold confidence around them, and therein lies their strength. After all, only those who understand that they can rely solely on themselves are capable of building an impenetrable wall around themselves. However, this same trait robs them of peace. Where others feel the support of an invisible protector, Gemini are left alone with their inner duality. They have to constantly fight their own doubts because deep down, they know that if they stumble, there will be no one to stop their fall. This creates constant tension from which there is no escape. This pressure becomes a driving force that pushes them to seek new solutions, but at the same time gives rise to an anxiety that cannot be silenced. The most dangerous thing about this position is the realization that outside help is always unreliable. Gemini can accept support, but never fully believe in it. They know how to smile, converse, and appear lighthearted. But behind this mask lies constant internal control. After all, it is the absence of a guardian angel that has taught them not to trust anyone completely. They hold their own destiny in their hands. And over the years, this knowledge becomes a heavy burden. The final days of any period are always tinged with a special drama for them. They understand that the outcome of their actions depends solely on themselves. And there is no room for hope for a miracle here. This knowledge makes them strong and vulnerable at the same time. They achieve a lot, but at the cost of constant internal tension. Their path is devoid of external protection, but that is precisely why it is more honest. Everything they achieve is the result of personal struggle, without an invisible shield behind them. This is the essence of Gemini without a guardian angel. They go through life with their faces open, and if they fall, they get up on their own, without anyone's help. The second sign is Cancer. When it comes to protection from above, Cancer is among those who have to rely only on themselves. There is no invisible hand to ward off blows, no shield to soften the blows of fate. All Cancer gets is the bare reality, and they have to deal with it on their own. This makes them stronger than many think, but it also makes their vulnerability more obvious. The absence of a guardian angel manifests itself in the fact that Cancer's difficulties are always brighter, the blows more accurate, and the trials longer than those of others. Where others are given a chance in time, Cancer has to wait and achieve it himself, and if he falls, he has to get up without help. The main feature is that life constantly tests their strength. In the most acute moments, when it seems that someone should intervene and show the way, there is only silence. It is this silence that is a sign that there is no protection. Cancer learns to live in constant readiness because no one will soften the consequences of mistakes. They expend their energy on creating a strong circle of security around themselves and their loved ones, and pay for it with tremendous inner fatigue. Outwardly, they may seem protected, but when you dig deeper, it becomes clear that all the barriers are built with their own hands. No signal from above will stop the fall if Cancer slips. They have to rely on caution and extreme attention to detail, because the slightest carelessness turns into problems that no one can help fix. The harshness of fate shapes Cancer's stubbornness. Every step is harder. Every achievement requires more energy. Where others get help or guidance, Cancer has to feel their way in the dark. This is where the lack of patronage manifests itself. Cancer's successes are always the result of their own struggle, their inner strength, and patience. The pressure is felt most strongly in personal relationships. Here, where softness and protection are needed, coldness most often prevails. Cancer is not told who to rely on, nor is it protected from betrayal. Experience comes through pain and disappointment, and this is another blow that it takes without cover. The closer a person is to the heart, the more painful the mistake of choice, and no one can prevent it in advance. But it is in this harsh lack of protection that secret power lies. Cancer, having gone through such trials, develops an incredible ability to take a hit. They become their own guardian, support, and wall. Others can count on an invisible protector, but Cancer creates its own from the strength of its character. But the price for this is loneliness in the most difficult moments, when there is no support anywhere. The closer the end of the road, the stronger the tension becomes. Cancer understands that it will have to pay for everything itself, and this causes a spring to tighten inside. It holds as long as there is strength, but one day it will spill out. This moment always sounds loud, painful, and inevitable, because there is no one in his destiny to soften the blow or stop the fall. And that's when it becomes clear. The absence of a guardian angel is not just a fact, but a sentence that Cancer has to live with until the end. The third sign is Aries. Aries has never had and never will have a patron standing behind him. Unlike many others, he always enters the arena of life alone, without an invisible shield and without a quiet voice telling him which way to turn. Their path is straight, rough, sharp, and every blow this sign receives hits them right in the chest. No invisible hand will deflect the arrow, stop the traitor, or cover them at the last moment. Here, every step is a challenge, and every result is blood and sweat, not the mercy of higher powers. This feature shapes his toughness. Aries does not wait for salvation. He knows that no one but himself cares how he copes. Therefore, his reactions are quick, his decisions are sharp, and his actions are straightforward. He is not afraid of conflict because he understands that if he does not strike first, he will be struck harder. The absence of a guardian angel turns his life into a continuous battle, where victory is achieved only through force. Where others look for signs, hoping that someone will guide them, Aries acts without hesitation. His energy is always directed forward, and this is what often frightens those around him. He does not know how to play it safe, and does not believe that higher powers will intervene and correct his mistakes. Everything he does is based on one principle: if you raise it, you hold it. Hence his unyielding will and readiness to enter into the most difficult situations, because he simply does not know how to do otherwise. But along with this, Aries has a dark side. He pays too high a price for such independence. The lack of protection makes him vulnerable to blows that could have been avoided. In the life of an Aries, there are almost always unexpected aggravations, crises, and sharp turns. Every time someone else gets off with a slight scare, he has to fight to the death. And he copes, but at the cost of wounds that remain inside forever. The absence of a guardian angel deprives him of illusions. Aries never believes in miracles and looks at the world too soberly. He is used to having emptiness behind him, and this makes him a loner even among his loved ones. He may be in a crowd, but he always takes the blow alone. People sense this and often retreat because there is no feeling of softness and calmness around him. There is always tension around him, ready to burst out. That is why his life is a constant risk. Any mistake is unforgivable for him because there is no invisible protector to soften the fall. Every loss hurts especially badly. Every success is achieved through blood, sweat, and tears. And there is a special drama in this. Aries moves forward, knowing that even the slightest delay can cost too much. But this is precisely where his strength lies. He lives honestly, without insurance, and therefore his victories are the most genuine. The fourth sign is Leo. Leo is used to feeling like the center of attention in any situation, but he is the one who does not have someone invisibly standing behind him and protecting him from falling. The absence of a guardian angel is particularly acute for Leo because he is constantly in the spotlight, and every step becomes a test of strength. There is no invisible support here that could warn of betrayal or hint at where danger lurks. Leo makes all decisions alone, and the price of these decisions is always higher than he expects. The blows of fate come to him openly, without veiled hints. If another person can avoid trouble thanks to invisible protection, Leo faces it head-on. And the higher he climbs, the stronger the blows, because mistakes are not forgiven here. The lack of patronage makes every victory a real struggle for him, in which there is no safety net. This is especially evident in the sphere of power and leadership. Leo strives to be first, to lead, and therefore constantly finds himself under attack. Any mistake becomes a reason for criticism, and no one will smooth things over. He is forced to answer for every action himself, without the right to weakness. It's hard, but it is this hardship that forms an unbreakable core within him. The material sphere also becomes an arena of severe trials for Leo. Where others may be helped by chance or invisible hints, he has to fight his way through with his fists. Money is harder to come by, contracts are more difficult to conclude, and success always requires maximum effort. There are no easy paths or gifts from fate here. Every step towards prosperity is paid for with nerves and time. In relationships, he also remains unprotected. Where he needs a hint as to who is sincere and who is pretending, Leo receives only silence. His choice of partners, friends, and allies is always his personal responsibility. If he makes a mistake, the price is immediate. The absence of a guardian angel deprives Leo of the right to be carefree. Every attachment is tested by time and betrayal, and he has to learn to see the truth for himself. Inside Leo, there is a strong need to be protected, but this is precisely what he is denied. Instead, he is under constant pressure, which forces him to build his own shield. This forms a habit of not trusting completely, relying only on himself and defending himself alone. This does not make life easier, but it makes him stronger. By the end of his life, Leo realizes that the lack of protection was not a mistake, but became his distinctive feature. He had no right to be weak, and this is what made his personality tough, whole, and unyielding. But along with this comes a burden. In none of the difficult moments was there an invisible protector nearby. In the decisive moments, he stood alone, and this feeling of loneliness is forever inscribed in his destiny. The fifth sign is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is born without invisible protection that could cushion the blows or guide them onto an easier path. They have no guardian angel, and this is what makes their life dangerous, intense, and full of extremes. Where others feel that someone is protecting them, Sagittarius always stands under the open sky, exposed to every wind, every blow of fate. This vulnerability is his eternal trial. No power nearby except his own will and inner fire. Every step Sagittarius takes is like walking on a tightrope. He walks boldly, but knows that any wrong move will result in a fall. No invisible hand will support him in a moment of weakness. Hence his innate impetuosity. He always runs forward, as if afraid to stop and discover that he is completely alone. He is characterized by a thirst for risk, because only through trials does he feel that life is real. Where others have a protector, he has only his own intuition and ability to take a hit. This makes Sagittarius a person of extremes. Without a guardian angel, he often finds himself in situations where the choice is extremely tough, either victory or defeat. Mistakes cost him more than anyone else. And yet he gets up again and again because he understands that no one will come to pull him out of the pit. He has no right to count on a miracle, only on his own strength. But this life without protection forges a rare quality, the ability to see a goal where others see a dead end. Sagittarius is capable of navigating chaos without a safety net. He throws himself into projects, travels, and conflicts because he knows that stopping means defeat. People around him sense his tension and directness. He does not know how to be cautious or hide behind someone else. His path is always open, and this is his vulnerability, but at the same time, his greatness. Sagittarius has to learn from mistakes that could destroy others. Where others would receive a sign or warning, he faces the problem head-on. And he survives because he knows how to find a way out at the very last moment. But the price of these solutions is scars that remain forever. Each new turn brings him a lesson that is not softened by someone else's protection. The strongest drama in his fate is that he understands too well. The world will not give him any breaks. And this truth makes him tough and straightforward. He has no invisible wing to protect him from trouble, so he himself becomes a shield and a sword. He is always on the move, always searching, always ready to strike. His life is an endless road with no guide. Only he himself shows him the way. A Sagittarius without a guardian angel is a person who walks on the edge of possibility. His victories are the purest because no one else helped him achieve them. His defeats are the most bitter because he is left alone to face them. But it is this open struggle that makes him special. He stands face to face with the world and proves that even without invisible protection, it is possible to go all the way.